so I'm just gonna level with you. I'm gonna get real for a second here. It's really hot in here. It's really hot in this room. So I've done a videography no. I've left the window open. You may occasionally hear the neighborhood children screaming, but don't worry, they're probably fine. Blueberry wine. All right, this is part 4. Part 4 in a 4-part video. So it's the final part of the blueberry wine, which we started on, every time. I always start saying it and then I'm not prepared to give you the actual dates and the information. Okay, we started on August 25th, the year of 2020. Today is, crap, what's today? Today is April 19th. So that's almost 8 months that our wine has gone from initial fermentation to not quite bottle. We're gonna bottle it today, I promise. There's no part 5, 6, or 7. It's done here. You'll recall from part 3, we added sugar and we added oak. And I'm very interested to see how the oak imparted flavors to this wine. So something I did that I'm very proud of, because I was thinking ahead, is I bottled a small portion of this in a single serve wine bottle before I oaked it. So now we're gonna open that little bottle. It's right here. No reason to hide it anymore. Right here. Okay, we're gonna open it, taste it, and then we're gonna taste it to get a 1-to-1 comparison to find out exactly what the oak did. We don't have to rely on memory. It's right here. But the first thing we're gonna do is take a hydrometer reading. Yay. All right, so we wanna open it up and just take a little reading, okay? So this little bad boy is okay, it's still bobbing around. Hold on. Just hold on. It's at 1.005. Okay? The gravity reading last time was 1.004. I do not believe that it somehow generated another point of sugar. That doesn't make any sense. I think I just misread it last time. So the gravity reading has not changed. That's good. That means we're safe to bottle, all right? Now, if you've ever watched any of my bottling videos on any of my brews, you know that I like to rack it into a pitcher first. You'll also know that's the method of CS Mead and More. Yes, I'm copying them. I'm just straight up copying them. It's a good method. I like the method. I'm going to use it. Okay, so just poured it into here because I'm going to rack all of this into here as well, and then we're going to go all into the bottles. I'm going to taste the unoaked one first. I think that makes the most sense. On the nose, it smells really high alcohol. You definitely catch the booziness. But also, the smell has changed since 2 months ago when I smelled it before. It's a little mellower. Not as aggressive and not as sharp. Interesting. Super strong. The original gravity on this was 1.090. Final gravity before back sweetening was 1.088. So it comes out to about 15.2%. That's a lot of alcohol. It burns the back of your throat. It's not unlike taking a shot of vodka. This smells a lot more like oak, believe it or not. You get more like a vanilla blueberry smell. And like this one, it's pretty mellow. Definitely taste that oak spiral. In a good way, though. This is not like the light toast oak spirals, which to me just taste like gasoline. I hate them. This is pretty good. I think that oak spiral is exactly what this wine needed to mellow it out. You do taste the alcohol still, but it's not nearly as aggressive. I'm honestly shocked at how much that oak spiral transformed the flavor profile of the wine in the best way. At 6 weeks, it might be a little too much because I'm getting a really strong oaky character, so maybe it's best to cut off at 4 weeks, but now we know. I'm still really happy with it. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do before we rack into the pitcher is I'm going to toss in a 1/16 of a teaspoon of potassium metabisulfite. Without getting into all the fascinating nitty-gritty details of what potassium metabisulfite does, basically it extends the lifespan of your wine, the shelf life, okay? I know that sulfites have kind of a bad rap among the population, but the population is just wrong on that. Very few people actually have a sulfite allergy, so why not just add it in and make your wine last longer than it would without them. Okay, what I'll be using today is an auto siphon. All right, I've explained auto siphon several times. If this is your first time seeing it, that's okay. You're welcome here. What it allows you to do is siphon or transfer the liquid that's in here into here without having to continually pump it, because it takes advantage of gravity, the force of gravity, to just make it siphon out on its own once you pump it anyway. Just watch, you'll see. Lovely. Before you bottle, make sure to sanitize your bottles. That is what I am doing here. I'm dunking them in, shaking it up, and pouring it out. Okay, shake it up for like, I don't know, 10 seconds. I realize I didn't do that, but then pour it out, let those bubbles just do their thing. Star San is food safe, so it is okay if some of those bubbles remain when you're bottling. There's no problem, okay? But you do want to sanitize to make sure you're not putting your wine in any germs and then corking them up. That would be bad. Okay, so what I'm utilizing today, in addition to the auto siphon, is this little masterpiece here, the bottling wand. When you press it in, liquid flows. When you pull up, liquid stops. So you can move from bottle to bottle without spilling a bunch, right? This is really a two-person job. If you can get someone to help you, great. If not, I'm sorry. And what you want to do here at the end, once you get near the end, is let it go all the way to the top and then pull out. Just like that. That'll guarantee that once you pull out your auto siphon, the liquid will level out right here where the shoulder meets the neck. Okay, that's where you want it. Nice. 5 bottles. Now that we've bottled them, it's time to cork them. You want to see how you ground cork, whatever, go check out part 3 of Raspberry Wine. Link right here, skip towards the end-ish, and you'll see Ashley cork one of them with my ground corker. If you don't have a ground corker, you can use a hand corker. They're not as good. Obviously, the ground corker is a lot more expensive, but it'll get the job done with enough elbow grease. And if you don't want to use corkers, bottle them in a different type of bottle. You can do screw cap ones. They're available on Amazon. Maybe I'll even have a link for you in the description. That would be pretty nice of me. And just like that, blueberry wine is all done. Honestly, for my second wine that I ever made, man, I'm starting to really sweat. We gotta wrap this shit up. For my second wine that I ever made, this came out really good. But nevertheless, what should we do different next time? Number one, I would use like 6 or 7 pounds of blueberries. You'll remember I used 4 pounds of frozen blueberries in this one. I do 6 or 7 because the more fruit you use, just like with the strawberry wine, the more fruit you use, the more fruity, delicious flavor you're going to get. Number two, I would probably adjust the acid and tannin level of this using acid blends or wine tannin. Tannins, you'll remember, are those bitter flavor compounds, but in small amounts, they add some really nice nuance to wines. Acids are in large amounts make things taste sour, but in smaller amounts, they're a kind of subtle nuance that makes your mouth water. Okay, so adding both of those in the right amounts will balance out the flavor profile. You'll get something a lot better than if you didn't use them in the first place. And the last thing, like the strawberry wine, is I wouldn't use Fleischmann's red yeast. That's what I did on this. I would use a specifically tailored wine yeast is what I'm going for here. All of those are going to produce, generally speaking, a superior product to bread yeast, because bread yeast is made to make bread, and these wine yeasts have been isolated and created to make a flavor profile that's really good. So that's what I would do. But even granting all those things, this is a good wine. This is a really solid, respectable wine creation, and I'm very proud of it. Thank you for watching. Thank you for seeing this from beginning to end, going from 8 months ago with my second ever video of blueberry wine, and sticking with me through the whole thing. Or if you're just joining, welcome. It's a fun show, so thanks for letting me do it. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments. Like this video, like other videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. And in the meantime, go watch some more of my videos. Thanks for watching, friends. Bye-bye.